Hello and welcome to James Cotter Field. Here is the UMass Boston Beacons taking on the Southern Maine Huskies. Here from James Cotter Field, UMass Boston coming in at 12-2-0 on the year, and Southern Maine coming in at 5-8-1 on the 2019 campaign. We thank you for tuning in here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. I am Elijah Gonzalez, and we are underway here at James Cotter Field as that one is taken away by UMass Boston. The Beacons looking for some history tonight and doing it in a rivalry game here against Southern Maine. Ball played to the middle of the field now. So UMass Boston tries to work it quickly. Kelly McNeil taking it down the far side. She's chased there, and that will go out of bounds, and we see the first corner kick here of this one, and UMass Boston is going to get it. Well, the Beacons coming off a big win against Curry College. That one came all the way back on October 12th, as the Beacons took down Curry College in a non-conference win, but they have been rolling as of late. Won 9 straight games and looking to extend it for a program record 10th win, as that one is headed out of bounds off the head of Grace McGettrick, and it will go the other way as Southern Maine and Kayla Gorman, the freshman goalkeeper, will take the goal kick. On the other side for Southern Maine, after a struggle through this middle part of the season, they have finally gotten that one win in conference play that they have needed so far. Of course, the Little East Conference has been really steady throughout. There have been some surprises towards the top of that conference, but as both these teams know, this conference can change in a heartbeat. As this one is played forward now. UMass Boston inside the box, shot off the right foot, and that is right into the chest of Kayla Gorman. Nothing doing there for UMass Boston, but early they've applied some pressure. And for the Beacons, again, they've been so solid defensively this year, allowing under a goal a game this season for the Beacons in 2019. 0.64 goals against average this year for UMass Boston is in the middle of the field now being battled for, and Southern Maine will take it and start to work it back upfield. First time we've seen Southern Maine really try to create a chance, and a through ball that is kicked away by UMass Boston. Jackie Turner back there to help make the play. And now it'll be a throw-in for Southern Maine. But for the Huskies, struggle has been the word that has really fallen on them so far. A couple of tough losses through this stretch of the season. They lost 5 straight through the last couple before getting that big win against UMass Dartmouth. It was a 1-0 win over UMass Dartmouth, and really scoring goals, they have not done that all that often so far this year. Started off the season really finding ways to score early. Couple of big wins, 4-0 win, 3-0 win, and then a 3-0 win over Maine Farmington before their first loss of the season, as now UMass Boston works the other way. Good ball forward as they try to chase it down towards the corner, but it will roll out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in here for Southern Maine. Allie Crawford there trying to chase it down for the UMass Boston Beacons. Maria Spilios starting in net. Grace Oliver, Jackie Turner, Kenya Wade, Isa Andrade, along with Kelly McNeil, Mary Jo Murphy, Grace McGettrick, along with Emily Bragg. Bit of a veteran back line back there for this Southern Maine Huskies team. That's something that they had done the last time that these two teams had met. Not a team that'll score all that often, but one thing that they will do is they can really pack it in. Did it a couple of times, but now an opportunity set to come here from Southern Maine, and there to knock that away on the middle part of the field is Mary Jo Murphy, making a terrific play to step right in front. And now a throw-in set to come here from Southern Maine. Adela Kaliwa was the player that was the intended target. She got a good first touch, but just a little bit too far. Is now some contact and a beacon going to the ground, but Southern Maine maybe with an opportunity, but Kaliwa this time offsides as the flag goes up. So it's an offside on the Huskies. And now UMass Boston will get the free kick, and Spilios will take it for the UMass Boston Beacons, and she's been a bright spot in net for the UMass Boston Beacons, named Little East Conference Rookie of the Week after posting a shutout against Curry College, and a good back heel that time as Oliver starts to work in. Grace Oliver feeds towards the middle. Couple of Beacons there. Couple of bodies go tumbling, and it goes into the hands of Kayla Gorman. Looks like Grace McGettrick that was down on the ground and got knocked to the ground on a good ball in that time from Grace Oliver. She had a lot of space there and elected to try and just get a touch on it. And the flag is going to go up as McGettrick was a touch bit offside after she was trying to recover from the tumble she took in the box and did not look like she got back even with that back line. Again, it's a veteran back line that's back there, minus the addition of Grace Blackwell, the freshman out of Rockport, Maine. And this one will roll all the way back to the hands of Gorman. But Maddie Freeman back there on the backside, along with Emily Baker and Emily Bragg. And that has been a back line that has now seen a good chunk of games for Southern Maine, not only this year, but in the past couple of seasons, playing together a good chunk, and it has shown at times this year. Not a team that has given up all that many goals. The problem on the flip side for the Huskies has just been the ability to try and score in the season. Early in the year, that was not much of an issue as the Beacons now start to work towards the 18. Feed it towards the middle, and it's off the head of Oliver as it rolls towards the touchline and will go out of bounds. A throw-in to come here for Southern Maine. But early, much of what we expected so far in this one, which is UMass Boston applying some pressure, trying to get some early chances, and they've done so. Southern Maine, not many chances coming besides on the counter. And here is a turnover, and it's played right to the foot of Allie Crawford. She feeds it along, but it's a bit too far for Andrade, and that will go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for UMass Boston. The Beacons have so many offensive weapons that can create lots of opportunities. It's been kind of spread out in a sense with the offensive output for UMass Boston. Of course, leading the team in goals is Grace McGettrick. She's got 9 on the year. Allie Crawford, Morgan Palma with 5 apiece. McGettrick leading the team in the points category. She has 20 so far on the year. Played by Oliver. Good touch pass as Oliver tries to chase it down on the give and go and has it, sends it towards the middle. Gorman is there, and it knocked off of a couple of bodies, and we're going to get a foul on UMass Boston. So there's a Husky that was down inside the box. But now that's the second time that UMass Boston has had a couple of good services into the box, and it just hasn't found the other end of a UMass Boston attacker. And so now a free kick set to come here from Southern Maine. And UMass Boston has really applied the pressure up top. There have been very few chances, again, that the Huskies have seen so far in which they've gotten really a good look besides on the counter. Of course, these two teams, ones that have kind of built a rivalry over the last couple of seasons especially. As it's turned over now, and Southern Maine trying to go quickly the other way. But it's taken away by UMass Boston and now cleared out of bounds. This will be a throw-in here for the Beacons. Last year for UMass Boston, a tough loss against Southern Maine just a year ago. It was a 1-0 defeat, and one in which UMass Boston really poured it on in the shots category. 17 shots in that one. As we have a whistle here, and now Southern Maine will take back possession. In that one for UMass Boston was 9 shots on goal. Southern Maine had 7 of their own as the Huskies have it inside the 18. Nice block that time on the shot attempted by Emma Cost, and it'll roll out of bounds, and the Huskies will have a throw-in here. Emily Bragg will fire it in. Galilwa battling there with Mary Jo Murphy, and Murphy just sends it out of bounds for a throw in here for the Huskies, and first time that we've seen the Huskies with sustained pressure. Pass back here. Bragg takes it. They look to try and work it back. Tried to play forward, but now taken away, and the other way comes UMass Boston before a turnover. Right back middle of the field. Andrade with it. And that time tried to feed it through the legs that time to Kelly McNeil. Long ball forward, and that's just going to roll over the end line. Goal kick coming for UMass Boston. Well, for the Beacons, that 2-0 win over top of Curry. So far this year, the Beacons have had a couple of shutouts this year, including one over Wentworth, along with Simmons as well. Had a Little East Conference shutout in the win over top of Castleton in that one. A 3-0 win over Castleton. Allie Crawford with it now as she plays to Oliver on the near side. Ball that's just a little bit too far for Oliver. Chased down and now sent out of bounds, and we will get a throw in for the Beacons. On the near side, Mary Jo Murphy to take it. She sends it in to Oliver. Played at the top of the 18. Murphy tried to send it in, but now back out, and Pitts just tries to fire it back in. That seems, for UMass Boston, like a recipe, as Allie Crawford hits the deck, and we have a foul and a dangerous spot now for the UMass Boston Beacons, and a good opportunity off a set piece here for UMass Boston. Last time out against a Little East Conference opponent, UMass Boston took down Plymouth State, team who has maybe surprised a few people in the way that they've played this year in the Little East Conference, sitting at 3-1 and in third place in the conference. It was a 4-1 win for UMass Boston in that one. Couple of players over the ball for UMass Boston, and the shot is well high and wide, and that will not test the goalkeeper in Gorman. It was, for UMass Boston, Grace Oliver that ended up taking it. Allie Crawford was also around the ball, but they went with the first player to touch it, which was Oliver. As Bragg now battling with Oliver, she takes it away. But now right back comes Southern Maine as they look to create an opportunity. Good play there on the back line for UMass Boston. It's brought down by Pitts and sent away by Anderson. And now upfield comes UMass Boston. Oliver now, she's had a good chunk of this one, and a bit too far for Crawford, who was trying to run that one down over the end line here. And now another goal kick set to come for Southern Maine. Well, for Southern Maine, the struggles started once Little East Conference play began. It was Western Connecticut State, a 2-1 loss to Western Connecticut State. Then had a tie against Bates before the 5 straight losses that put them in a tough spot coming into that game against UMass Dartmouth. That one goes out of bounds. This will be a throw-in here for UMass Boston. And during that stretch in which they lost those 5 in a row, they did not score more than 1 goal in any of those games. And in the meantime, their opponents did pick up goals in every one of those games. But not only that, they did not have more than 1 game in which their opponents scored 1 goal or fewer through that stretch as well. This one off the body of Mary Jo Murphy. A couple of players hit the deck. Some contact there on the near side of the field. Again, the Beacons have, once that ball, it seems like, has been touched by the Huskies. Seems to be a white jersey right around it. This one's played upfield. Good ball forward there to McGettrick. And now back to Allie Crawford. Tries to create space for herself in the middle of the field, finding Pitts. Turned right into a Husky. As Southern Maine will work this one back the other way. And quickly turned over right to the foot of the Beacons as they try to work quickly up the field. Possibly a counter here for UMass Boston as they take it away. Heading towards the middle. Ball in is blocked, and now this one sent in off the left foot of McGettrick. But a bit too far. Sits right at the foot of McNeil. Cal Pitts plays it over, far side. Beacons working in. Good touch pass there Now inside the 18-yard box, tried to play it into the middle, blocked down. Battle for it inside the box, just cleared away out of danger, but sent right back in as Oliver tries to play it before it heads out of bounds, but it will go out of bounds, and now a throw-in ensues for Southern Maine. Couple of good chances, though, for UMass Boston as they worked quickly, try and create some opportunities. Crawford trying to just flick that one on. And instead, Southern Maine just having to dodge some pressure here through these first couple of minutes. Throwing into the box, right towards the middle. McGettrick tried to fling it over top of the back line, and instead, Gorman right there to read it. Off the deflection, and now Southern Maine will retake possession. Just about 27 minutes in. And UMass Boston, again, still tied at 0-0. But lots of opportunities, really nothing too high quality for either side. But the Beacons have definitely put themselves in a position to create some chances early in this one. Spilios will send this down the field. And right in the midfield now, a couple of players there battling for it. Cal Pitts tried to take it away, and now it's taken away by UMass Boston. Andrade plays it back. Wade plays it forward. Pitts looking for Oliver, but she was offsides anyway. Flag went up. And this will be a free kick for Southern Maine. Well, it looks like the official there will just have the throw in harmlessly as Anderson takes it away quickly. Pitts on the whiff that time. Wade having to try and take it over, but it was knocked away, and it was Porter that was there for Southern Maine. Here come the Huskies quickly, just outside the 18. They work inside the box. The shot, it goes high up over the bar, but not without a quick scare for UMass Boston. It was Sierra Berthume, the junior forward, that had created the opportunity just outside the 18 and fired that one high with a lot of space to operate. But unable to test the goalkeeper that time. It's Danny Anderson now on the near side, plays to the middle. Mary Jo Murphy sends it along, and Oliver's going to try to get there. Grace Oliver just outside the 18. Sends that one in towards the back post, and it can't find the foot of McGettrick as it rolls towards that out-of-bounds line, but she is able to keep it in. Lots of contact, and we will get a foul that will go the other way as the Huskies will take over. Good charge that time towards the box for Kelly McNeil, but a little bit too much contact allows this one to go the other way for Southern Maine. Southern Maine, that 5-8-1 record, but again, this was a team that beginning of the season was picked more towards the top of that Little East Conference, especially after last year and what they did against some of the top teams. Some struggles that went along with a couple of big wins, including over these UMass Boston Beacons, but so far this year, it has been tough sledding for them in this bottom portion of the Little East Conference. And coming up for Southern Maine, there's a bit of a positive and a negative. The positive is that now once you look past this UMass Boston game, which of course can't really do with the talent that UMass Boston has put on the field so far, but when you look past that, they've got Keene State that's upcoming. They also have a couple of other opponents that they'll play, including Rhode Island College, more towards the bottom portion of this Little East Conference. As this one rolls out of bounds, they've gotten some of the tough ones out of the way, you would say, with a couple of games against Eastern Connecticut State as well as Western Connecticut State. Those two teams trying to push their way towards the top. Western Connecticut State in a much more suitable position. As this one goes out of bounds, it'll be a throw-in here for UMass Boston. And that game on November 2nd circled on a lot of people's calendars in the Little East Conference. Oliver sends this one in. McNeil chests it down, but a bit too far on the touch, and it will go out of bounds. A throw-in to come for the Beacons. November 2nd at Western Connecticut State will be when UMass Boston gets their first crack at Western Connecticut State. Still a little bit of ways to go until then. Stanny Anderson comes in to cut that one off, and she'll work quickly the other way. Anderson, just outside the 18, fires it towards the middle, and Bragg's there to just knock it away. Andrade had tried to send it back in before it was deflected out of bounds off a Husky. And now a throw-in to come for UMass Boston. Beacons will have a game against Rhode Island College on the road before having a non-conference matchup against Framingham State. That one coming on October 22nd, as we have a foul that will go the other way and against the Beacons. And then before wrapping up conference play against Western Connecticut State, we'll have to take on Keene State and then a non-conference matchup against Bridgewater State. Both of those contests will be the final two home games of the year in the regular season for UMass Boston. As it's played forward, and Kenya Wade will have to go back and retreat to get it. But early and often has been the chances for UMass Boston through this one. It's McGettrick now trying to work around a couple of Huskies. And a ball forward looking for the head of Allie Crawford. And a bit too far for her. Cut off there by McNeil, and now Crawford has it at her foot. Crawford towards the 18. Has it. Works inside the box. Crawford trying to swing it in with the left foot, and it's off of the body of Bragg, and we'll get a corner kick upcoming for UMass Boston. So a couple of good chances for UMass Boston. Allie Crawford is over to take it. Mary Jo Murphy is close by. And the Beacons trying to organize things here. As Allie Crawford sends this one in. Sends it towards the back post. It's headed towards the middle. Shot off of the body of one of the Huskies in front. It was McNeil who got the attempt away. But it was blocked, and now a throw-in to come for UMass Boston. Another good opportunity, though, in the corner. That time from the Beacons. This one sent back into the box to the head, and that one is out of play. Off of the head that time of Cal Pitts. It's who they were looking for in the middle. And now a substitution set to come in for the Huskies. So checking out of this one is going to be Abigail Mazza, who comes out. And the senior Emma Dennison out of South Portland, Maine, will come right back in
University of Southern Maine,
for Southern Maine.
The game for the Huskies, number 10, Emma Dennison.
For Southern Maine, that win that came last year against UMass Boston at home. It's their first win over UMass Boston since 2007. And their first shutout win over top of UMass Boston since 2006. So this one is played forward here. Quickly chasing back is Anderson as she clears it out of bounds. And the throw in here for Southern Maine. Played right towards the middle. Couple of bodies collide, but good clean tackle there from the Beacons. Crawford, touch pass, but too far forward. And now the throw in to come for the Huskies, but that has been a play that has sprung UMass Boston a couple of times. It was Allie Crawford who sprung a couple of different players forward as Spilios will take it and fire it quickly out to Mary Jo Murphy. UMass Boston looking to go the other way. Murphy plays to the middle. Andrade with it. Oliver trying to make a run down the near side and does. And the flag is up. She's offsides. There's a possibility of rain tonight here in Boston.
Offside, UMass Boston.
And it's going to be a little bit windy as well with the rain coming towards the area. So the throw in to come here from Southern Maine, but things are going to get a little bit more with the rain as the night goes on. Again, most of the heavy rain coming more towards the conclusion of this game and past the conclusion of the contest. A lot of the rain is supposed to be a little bit lighter during play as this one is fed towards the far post, and Oliver headed it back towards the middle, and now the ball is just cleared high and over top of the goal by Andrade in the first set of subs coming in here for UMass Boston. So the Beacons making their first changes. So McGettrick coming out, Oliver coming out. A couple of offensive substitutions being made, as Morgan Palma will come in, the sophomore forward. So this one is played right back in towards the box, but Gorman there to take that one away. Also into this contest is Taylor Biliak as well, along with Jelilo Campo, sophomore midfielder. So UMass Boston not afraid to go to their bench here in this one,
UMass Boston substitutes into the game
as
22 Morgan Palma,
Kelly McNeil
Taylor Billiot,
will take the
and
free kick here,
Campo.
and off the set piece sends it in towards the box, but right there is Gorman, and she has to make what looked like it was going to be a routine play, but just there to kind of knock it down in front, and now she'll send it away. Off the shoulder, one of the Southern Maine midfielders, but sent quickly right back, and here comes Morgan Palma the other way. Palma thought about the shot, now does with the left foot, and it goes just wide of the target. Another good opportunity, though, for UMass Boston. Couple of fakes there from Palma. She got it to her left foot on the first touch and really just hung on to that, but just couldn't get it across her body just enough to get it on target and on frame. About 16 minutes to go here in this first half. And UMass Boston, Southern Maine tied up at nothing. This one sent out of bounds, and now a throw in to come for the Beacons. Biliak fires it in. Now she works in right to Crawford. Crawford gets to her left foot, shoots, and it goes just high over the bar. Another good opportunity for UMass Boston, but again, just could not get it on target. This time a little bit high over top of the goal. And another goal kick for Gorman, another sigh of relief for Southern Maine. So Gorman sent to send this one downfield. Kayla Gorman, we talked about Maria Spilios and what she's done for UMass Boston in net, but Kayla Gorman has been the leader in net for Southern Maine this year, as Ocampo plays it on the far side, and that one goes out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in here for UMass Boston. So the referee giving that final signal to the foot of Allie Crawford. Got it off a body of a Husky. Biliak tries to play it in. Now does to Crawford. Crawford onside. Crawford sends it in. This one towards the box. Gorman is there. A couple of Huskies knocking that one away. And a terrific play to somehow keep that one out. Mary Jo Murphy now. Bit too far on the touch. Now off the head of Murphy. As Palma takes it. Palma trying to take it down the near side. Pressure still being applied here for UMass Boston. Huskies just trying to get some relief and clear it out. Bragg gets there first. And now it's finally cleared to the other side of the field, but not far enough, as Kenya Way knocks it down and McNeil chases. McNeil gets it to Ocampo, but it's too far off of her foot and out of her reach. And now a throw-in sent to come here for Southern Maine. So another great opportunity once again for UMass Boston. That time did get it on frame, and Gorman made the save, but it was her back line that helped her out there. Looked like that ball had gotten just a touch bit behind Gorman. Had to reach behind, but not before it was just cleared away before that goal line. Headed forward by Andrade and now sent back down the field by the Huskies. Time of possession has favored UMass Boston heavily. Danny Anderson now. She plays it right towards Palma. Play in by Murphy with the left foot is a bit too far. And now Gorman will just come out and get it and corral it as well. Kayla Gorman, 5 wins on the year. It's been a net for everyone for the Huskies this season. And Gorman has not given up a lot of goals this year. Turned over, though, by UMass Boston, and going the other way are the Huskies. Just outside the 18, but a couple of beacons there to converge as Kenya Wade plays it upfield, out of bounds, and this one will go as a throw-in here for the Huskies, but not before we have a substitution, as Emma Cost will come out of this one. Played towards the middle.
Again for Southern Maine, number 2, Trisha Boyle.
Trisha Boyle has made her appearance here in this one for the Huskies. That one is headed down and right to the foot of McNeil. A couple of beacons converge there. But the Huskies taking it right back. Taken away, now Ocampo trying to work quickly the other way. Gets it to Crawford off of a couple of Navy jerseys. Crawford trying to find and seek out Morgan Palma, but it's too far, and it'll roll right into the hands of Gorman. So we start to approach that 11 to 10 minute mark in the first half. Still nothing on the board for either side. Allie Crawford now with it. Crawford had it knocked away. This will roll out of bounds, and we'll get a throw-in sent to come here for UMass Boston. And now we'll get a foul on Southern Maine prior to that. A lot of contact there with Crawford. And the Beacons will get another free kick in another decent spot. They have created some chances and some dangerous ones just sending the ball into the box. And right now, Southern Maine trying to mark up and hope that nothing is able to get in. This time they won't. Danny Anderson now with a long shot that's blocked down. This one fired back the other way off of a couple of beacons, and now a good ball forward. Is Kenya Wade going to try to chase it down? Wade gets there, turns around, and sends it right back down the field, and that's a good ball to Palma. Morgan Palma will chase it down as she brings it towards the corner flag. Sends it in low towards that top part of the box, and this cleared away by Southern Maine. And now a throw-in sent to come here for UMass Boston is Mary Jo Murphy set to take it. Murphy firing it in, but that one knocked away. And now Murphy unable to chest it forward, and it goes out of play as Southern Maine will make their throw in the other way. The Huskies have it quickly taken away. That's been a common theme in this one as Palma with some space towards the 18, fires it towards the middle. Couple of bodies there, and it's cleared away as Palma will let that one roll out for a throw-in. It was Ocampo that was right out in front, but it looked like it got deflected before it got to Ocampo. As Crawford chests it down inside the box, now spins, turns, fires towards the back post, but Ocampo is offsides, and that will go the other way on a free kick upcoming here for Southern Maine. So the Huskies have taken all the offense that they can handle so far in this one. That's been in part to what UMass Boston has done offensively through this contest. So it goes out of bounds and a throw-in once again coming for UMass Boston. Couple of players tangle up, and they're going to award the foul for the UMass Boston Beacons. And now, again, another opportunity for UMass Boston in a dangerous position as Allie Crawford comes over top of the ball. So we'll see what Crawford decides to do here. As the referee backs up the wall, Gorman barking out some signals to the wall. Crawford lines it up, tries to go low and miss the target. It'll be a goal kick here that comes for Southern Maine. So they get set to send this one back down the field and maybe alleviate some of this pressure so far that's been applied for UMass Boston. Again, the shots on goal have not been as high for the Beacons so far early, but the pressure has been there as that one goes out of bounds off the foot of Elise Porter. Allie Crawford heading it to Palma. Palma battling there with Bragg, and Bragg has been busy so far tonight. She has really had a lot of tough tests over on that near side flank. It's been Oliver through the first half, and now Morgan Palma here through the second half of this first half. With about 7:35 to go, and a throw-in to come here for the Huskies. Spilios has not really had to be tested so far in this one. It's been a quiet night for her in net. The ball forward, though. Testing UMass Boston now. A shot that goes off the bar, and is it in? Well, they say that, believe there's going to be a stoppage here, and now a goal. So Southern Maine is going to be on the board. It hit off the bar, bounced down, and the referee getting some help as they say that that one found the backside of the goal. So the long shot that time, as Palma now has it. So UMass Boston trailing 1-0 on a long shot from outside the box, and there is a late signal on the goal as Gorman picks it up. It was not originally ruled a goal. There was a couple of players, especially on the UMass Boston side, confused, and then Southern Maine voicing their opinion, able to get the goal. So the goal scored by Sierra Berthume. So Berthume with her goal here in this one. And the UMass Boston Beacons now in a similar position that they were a season ago, trailing 1-0 to Southern Maine. Kenya Wade takes that one away. Played forward. Andrade with it. Now over on the far side. Run being made here by the Beacons. Trying to work inside the box. It's Palma. Palma tried the touch pass that time, and it just couldn't get to Ocampo. Danny Anderson now. And it just felt like for UMass Boston, a lot of the pressure that they had early has now just kind of diminished. Still trying to apply that pressure, but Southern Maine maybe looking a little bit more comfortable now with the 1-0 advantage as Ocampo gets this one here, and now a chance for UMass Boston, but that one is sent out of bounds on the ball that looked like it tried to seek out Palma, but had just missed the target. Now Ocampo is going to be replaced here in this half. So with about 5 minutes remaining, it's UMass Boston now trailing 1-0 against Southern Maine. Katie Pasquale seeing her first action here towards the end of the half. As Pasquale gets the touch from Crawford, but a bit too far for her, and that will go out of bounds and a throw-in to come for UMass Boston. It's McNeil now, trying to turn, instead just touches it back. Ball in towards the box, headed away. As it's sent back upfield. Anderson chasing. Spilios will send that one right back. Just as I talked about, Spilios not really having to be tested all that much. Southern Maine, the long shot from range that finds off the crossbar and in to take the lead. Play just past the midline by the Huskies. Some contact there, but referee letting it go. Mary Jo Murphy battling that time, and it's off of the foot of Murphy and out of bounds. This will be a throw in here for Southern Maine. Throw in comes quickly. It's played towards the middle. And now on the foot of Kenya Wade. The pass is a bit too far from the Huskies. Wade sending this one back downfield. And now out of bounds, a throw in to come for UMass Boston. Send quickly up the field. Chance to get possibly behind the back line of the Beacons. Here's the shot. Spilio sees it go right by. It's 2-0 Southern Maine. And it's off the foot of Adela Kaliwa as she puts it in the net, and Southern Maine has taken a 2-0 advantage. It was a good ball in, and Kaliwa took that ball right in between two center backs that time and just able to make a move right around, and Spilios dove, but just unable to get it. As Biliak is going to be subbed out here for UMass Boston. So they make a change late in this first half. They trail now with 3 minutes to go. It's a 2-0 game. Played to Pitts in the middle. Cal Pitts now fires it back down the field, and this will go out of play. And maybe some frustration starting to set in, but for the Beacons, again, they have pressured and pressured and pressured early in this game, but just have nothing to show for it. The chances have been there. Couple of missed opportunities for the Beacons, and Southern Maine has responded with a couple of goals of their own. Cal Pitts now plays it back, but that one is turned over. That has been how a lot of these Southern Maine chances have come, is off a couple of UMass Boston turnovers, and now Danny Anderson is going to pick up the foul here as she just knocked Emma Dennison down to the turf. And a set-piece opportunity set to come here for Southern Maine. This one of their first on their side of the field. Haven't had a lot of these early in this game as Porter sends this one in. Good ball towards the box, and it's headed just out of the reach of Spilios and rolls harmlessly over the end line for a goal kick. If you're UMass Boston, now trailing 2-0, they can find a way to put some pressure and cut into this 2-0 lead before the halftime break. An ideal situation as well, but if you're Southern Maine, have to feel good about the way that you're going into halftime at the moment. This one's sent right back down the field. Danny Anderson is there, and she'll just put her right foot into it and send this one towards the 18-yard box on the other side of the field. As Mary Jo Murphy sees it roll out of bounds. The throw-in comes to Allie Crawford with a minute to go. Palma chasing there. Knocked away. And now cleared out of bounds, and another throw-in to come here for UMass Boston. Long throw this time. Palma trying to get there. This one cleared out of bounds, and another throw to come as Crawford gets the ball quickly. And they're going to call this a corner kick here for UMass Boston as well. So Crawford sending this one in towards that back post, a little bit far. Anderson, and it goes off of her foot and out of play. So 20 seconds now to go, and you can bet that Southern Maine is going to take their time, not wanting to give UMass Boston any sort of chance before the halftime break.
10, 9,
About 10
8,
seconds now.
7, 6, 5,
Ball in the middle of the field, Anderson battling there,
2,
but Southern Maine is going to take a 2-0 lead into the break. It is 2 goals, one from Sierra Bethune and one from Adela Kaliwa. And so far, the two veterans have Southern Maine in front by a score of 2-0. We'll step aside. We'll have a Beacon spotlight here with Isa Andrade as we step aside here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
I think I started to realize I was farsighted in around high school time when I was looking at the board and couldn't see what was on the board. So I'd always have to sit in front, which teachers would put me in front anyway because my last name. But I would automatically like seat myself in the front because I couldn't see. And my friend Delilah, who was also nearsighted, she let me use her glasses and for warm-ups. And I started to realize how much clearer my vision was. So I realized, oh, maybe I do need glasses, and I waited a little while to get them, but I'm finally going to get them, so hopefully I can see far away now. It definitely affected me a lot. Definitely playing softball. When I was playing center field, I had trouble when the ball was in the air, like really far away, but then I would see it like right when it was there. And then, especially in soccer too, now that I'm playing forward, I'm starting to realize I have like a little bit of an issue hitting longer balls and switching the field or even shooting shots from far away. It's definitely noticeable, and if you've seen me play, I'm a very like short player. I like to play short balls. I like to be technical and keep the ball near me because that's my strength, and I can see the ball near me, so I like to keep it near me. And it definitely affects it, but hopefully it won't be affected that much longer. Oh, it 100% has, because I've had to use my weakness and make it stronger by playing shorter balls, and I've had to be quicker on the ball because if it's near me and I'm playing shorter balls, I have to check in, check out, like move into the ball, and that's why you see mine and Allie's dynamic movement off each other because we work off each other, and it's definitely like helped my strength a lot, and I am a very technical player because of it, so I wouldn't change like my eyesight in any way because I feel like it makes me who I am. It makes me the player who I am. I saw my doctor about 2 weeks ago, so I waited a while to fix my problem, but they were saying that I have a 20/25 vision in my right eye and 17/25 in my other. So they're saying like that there's like a disconnect between the two eyes, and it definitely like affected my playing, and they were saying that I should wear glasses for like in class and during any time. I can wear them anytime, and then to see if like maybe warm up with them and to see if it helps my playing a lot, and if it does, then I'm gonna switch to contacts for playing. So hopefully that's better.
Welcome back on the Beacons Broadcast Network here at James Cotter Field. It's UMass Boston at the moment, trailing by a score of 2-0 against Southern Maine. We take a look now at the halftime statistics. And again, UMass Boston has had a couple of opportunities early in this one, but it was Southern Maine who capitalized on a couple of those chances in this ball game. Really, it was a couple of good finishes from Southern Maine and good ball into the box that allowed them to take this early lead. Sierra Berthume had the first goal of the contest for Southern Maine, and the second goal for Southern Maine came off of the right foot of Kaliwa, who was able to put it just by Smilios to make it 2-0 in favor of UMass Boston. It's now time that we take a look at another Beacon Spotlight, and it's Jackie Turner here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
When I was little, I started at forward. That was the first position I played, and ever since up until senior year, I was a forward. With my speed, I feel like it was easy for me to go by defenders and make plays by getting in and crossing to other people. I wasn't a huge goal scorer. Like, there was many other forwards on my team that scored a lot, but I think I was more of a playmaker. So senior year of high school, I got pushed back to outside back, and that was like a big change for me because I had never played defense in my whole life, and I knew we had a lot of incoming freshmen that were really talented forwards, and so we obviously needed to fill the senior that graduated spot of outside back, and my coach tried a few people out, and I think I sort of clicked with the spot initially because I was used to getting forward like a forward would, and so I was really good at that, and I stayed there all senior year, and it kind of just worked out for me because I could connect with the forwards well because I know what they would do because I was a forward my whole life, and that's what made it easier for me. Initially, I always said that I was a forward because that's what I was most comfortable with. I wasn't really settled into the outside back position, but after a while, I sort of opened up to like say that I played all positions because I did used to play outside mid too, which is sort of in between both. So I sort of said that I could play anywhere and see where that put me. I think now I could only be comfortable at outside back because I haven't played forward in so long. So it's been a while, but I do miss forward, and I sort of wish that I could play it again, but I like how I can get up in outside back. When Amy usually gives us a scout and she tells me like, oh, this forward will turn and shoot, or this forward will take you byline, like I sort of know what they're going to do, and it's predictable for me because when I'm a forward, I know what I would do and I know how like other forwards react. So I think it's a lot easier for me to defend when I know what they're like and know what they're going to do because I was there at one point.
Welcome back on the Beacons Broadcast Network as we take a look around Beaconville at what's going on at the moment. And on the flip side, at Southern Maine, the men's soccer team so far has had a commanding lead over top of Southern Maine. It's a score right now of 4-0 at the halftime break. Volleyball team on top of Southern Maine, 2-0 in the sets department as well. And for UMass Boston, a couple of other games that will be going on at 1 o'clock is the women's tennis team will host Plymouth State in a matchup there that will begin in the next couple of days. That will start on Thursday as well. Well, for the men's soccer team right now, they have a 4-0 lead. However, they did defeat Curry College by a score of 3-0. Take a look at the highlights from last Tuesday night against Curry. Welcome back on the Beacons Broadcast Network, and we take a look at the Little East Conference scoreboard. And, well, it was Western Connecticut State that pulled out a big win over Eastern Connecticut State, a final of 2-1 there. Keene State over top of Plymouth State in overtime, a 3-2 win for Keene State. So Plymouth State may be coming back down to earth just a little bit as they now sit 3-2 in Little East Conference play. For UMass Dartmouth, it was a 1-0 win over Rhode Island College. So a couple Little East Conference games that are going on throughout the rest of the evening. But for UMass Boston right now, trailing against Southern Maine, a team that has had some success recently after picking up the big win against UMass Dartmouth. And, of course, UMass Dartmouth rebounding nicely with a win over top of Rhode Island College. But, again, the big one being Western Connecticut State. And with that win, they continue to improve their impressive resume. They now sit 5-0 on the year, 10-4, or rather 11-4-1 overall for Western Connecticut State on the 2019 season. For Eastern Connecticut State, now putting themselves in a tough spot. They now sit 3-3 in the Little East Conference standings, and that right now sitting them in 5th place. Keene State, although with the win, now moves to 3-2 on the year, and Plymouth State falling to 3-2 after giving themselves an opportunity to possibly have a better showing in the Little East Conference after being picked in the 8th spot in the LEC preseason poll. Well, taking a look ahead for UMass Boston and what they'll have upcoming following this one, it's a game on Saturday at Rhode Island College, and then Tuesday they will head to Framingham State for a 4:30 tilt there on Tuesday, October 22nd, and then a game against Keene State on October 28th at 6 p.m., and then that'll be followed by the game against Bridgewater State on Tuesday, October 29th against Bridgewater State. However, they still also have that big showdown with Western Connecticut State, and for UMass Boston, they're going to need some heroics. They trail at 2-0, and for the Beacons, hoping that they can improve to 5-0 in conference play right now, sitting at 4-0 in conference play, and already one team in the Little East Conference has stayed undefeated so far this year in conference play, and that's Western Connecticut State after they moved to 5-0 on the season. This is the only night game that is being played around the Little East Conference today. It's Eastern Connecticut State and Western Connecticut State. As you saw, that game started at 3 o'clock. Plymouth State and Keene State, that one started at 3:30. And Rhode Island College and UMass Dartmouth, that game was started at 4 o'clock. So for UMass Boston, again, only game that's being played here tonight, and they'll look to try and come back here, trailing 2-0 as we get set for second half action here at James Cotter Field. Thank you for tuning in on the Beacons Broadcast Network. I'm Elijah Gonzalez. And for UMass Boston, it was a flurry of chances early, but nothing really to show for it. And for Southern Maine, 2 impressive strikes that have put them in front. So the Beacons just about set here against Southern Maine. And now Allie Crawford will head to the middle of the field for UMass Boston as the halftime clock runs out. We'll reset, and we will be ready for another 45 minutes. McGettrick on the field as well for UMass Boston. She sat for a good chunk of that first half as we are underway here in the second half. Allie Crawford now plays it over on the near side and off the foot here of Jackie Turner as it goes out of bounds. And a throw-in sent to come here for Southern Maine. UMass Boston applied a lot of pressure early and created some chances, and now here comes Danny Anderson the other way. Anderson plays it off on the far side to Oliver. Oliver trying to touch it right towards the middle to Andrade, but knocked away there. Now Southern Maine moving the other direction quickly. Good foot that time from UMass Boston. And that will go out of bounds, and we'll get a throw-in to come here. Danny Anderson creating a chance that time. Just laid it off for Oliver, but her touch to Andrade was just a little bit too soft. As it's worked inside the 18-yard box and now floated back out towards the top. And a couple of bodies get tangled, and now we'll have a foul on Southern Maine as McNeil hit the deck. And we'll get a free kick here for UMass Boston. Kenya Wade set to take it. Wade playing on the backside as well. Now Wade moves out of the way, and McNeil will get set to send this one down the field. She sends it over on the near side. McGettrick just trying to keep that one from going out of bounds and sent it forward. As it's knocked down, and now McGettrick has it at her foot. Trying to leave it for Crawford, but it's turned over that time, and the other way comes Southern Maine. McNeil tried to stick her foot in, but the challenge was able to be avoided by Southern Maine. And now it's right back at the foot of Kaliwa. Taken away by Danny Anderson as she comes the other direction for UMass Boston. Got to feel like Grace McGettrick has to be involved in the offense for UMass Boston, as Porter will take it and send that one forward. Headed and touched on. Kaliwa's there. A couple of bodies also there for UMass Boston to help corral it back to Smilios. But it was Abigail Mazza that was on the back end of that ball towards the box. Southern Maine coming out, controlling some possession here in this one. Just kind of sustaining what they did towards the end of that first half. Just get a couple of good chances and a couple of good looks as Danny Anderson maybe pushed that time from the backside, but now a long shot that goes just sailing over the bar. And another good opportunity from Alex Allen that time. And now a goal kick to come here for UMass Boston. One thing that Southern Maine has done well is really give themselves some space, even from distance. They've connected on a couple of those, but it seemed like a lot of green space at the top of that box for Southern Maine when they've gotten an opportunity there. As Wade now has it. Touch a little bit off, but Kenya Wade able to chase it down before it's turned over. Kelly McNeil trying to send that one upfield. But it's taken right back quickly by Southern Maine. Now a battle for it. Right at midfield is taken away from Andrade. And now Southern Maine able to corral it, and we'll get a foul called here against UMass Boston. So a free kick set to come here. That one flicked on with the head, but a bit too far, as it was the goal scorer, Berthum, that tried to send it forward. And the goal kick comes here quickly for UMass Boston. They'll have about 40 minutes to operate. They trail down 2 goals. So far here in the second half, not a ton to speak of offensively, as McGettrick now gets her foot on it. McGettrick working quickly with some space. This one she'll send over on the far side now. Operating over there is Oliver. Sends it low towards the box. McGettrick was there, but it was cleared away by Southern Maine. And Allie Crawford will hustle over and take the corner kick for UMass Boston. So the Beacons now with an opportunity. And the first corner of this one. Crawford plays it in. Now it's played right back to her. She sends this one towards the box. McGettrick is there, and Gorman just diving to make the stop. It was McGettrick off the left foot. She had some space in front. And Kayla Gorman just kind of leaned over to make the save and then sprawled out to make sure that that ball didn't go anywhere. Andrade now plays it on the ball out of the air. Southern Maine there and trying to play it forward. Danny Anderson there applying the pressure. Good ball forward here, and now UMass Boston having to retreat inside the 18-yard box, and that one cleared away. Good defensive play, that time by Kenya Wade. Southern Maine tried to bump her off the ball that time. Long shot goes high and wide, and UMass Boston going to get a goal kick here in the first substitute. Set to come here for the Beacons. So Morgan Palma will come in. She's the first sub here in the second half, as she replaces Kelly McNeil, the freshman, out of Marshfield, Massachusetts. Out of bounds and a throw-in to come here. Bit of unfamiliar territory for UMass Boston in a couple of ways. The Beacons haven't surrendered 2 goals since September 19th. It's the last time they surrendered 2 goals in a game. It came against Western New England. That was a game that they ended up winning 3-2. And prior to that, surrendered 2 goals against Babson back on September 10th. That was a 2-0 loss there to Babson. The middle of the field now played over on the far side, but a bit too far that time as Southern Maine retreats. And on the flip side for Southern Maine, they haven't scored 2 goals in a while. As Kenya Wade plays it back on the back line and trying to work it quickly forward. Last time that Southern Maine had scored 2 goals or more was back on September 17th. It's the last time that they had done that, and then had one in a tie against Bates on the 22nd of September. But have not won by scoring more than 2 goals since that early September mark. As Grace McGettrick quickly gets there. Trying to work it towards the 18. Shoots with the right foot, and Gorman right there to make the save as that one just went right into her hands. So now Kayla Gorman is going to send this one down the field here. And out of danger, but now Allie Crawford brings it down. Couple of Southern Maine midfielders there. Tried to play on the touch pass forward. And now it's sent right back, and the Huskies looking to work quickly. That one's sent in towards the box. Spilios is out, and she will roll it out here to Kenya Wade. Wade quickly the other way. Palma spins with the foot. Gives it back to Crawford. And Crawford able to force that one to go out of bounds. Emily Baker, senior defender on that back line. Able to just clear that one out of harm's way. Touch to McGettrick is a bit too far. It's Danny Anderson there applying some pressure. Andrade gets her foot in there. Couple of bodies battling there. UMass Boston able to win that one. Oliver, touch pass, McGettrick. McGettrick working in. She's knocked down, and no call has been made here. And there's going to be no foul called here. McGettrick went down just outside the box. The official felt that there was no foul on the play. So UMass Boston now works it back, though. Crawford, this time McGettrick battling here, and well, to give a little bit of a shove, but to no avail as that one goes down the field, and now Spilios will send it right back down. Just out of the outstretched foot of Palma, and a throw-in to come here for the Huskies. This one knocked down, and now good play had to be made there by Mary Jo Murphy after Kaloa got behind just a touch, but it went off of Kaloa. Danny Anderson now. Tried to flick that one on for Jackie Turner, but it's out of bounds. So a throw-in now to come for Southern Maine. As Palma gets her foot in there. McGettrick tried to leave it for Palma, but it was taken away. Anderson watching tightly against Porter. Beats her to the ball, and we're going to get a foul here on Porter. As she tried to pull up that time once Anderson got in front of her. But instead went sprawling to the turf and almost took Anderson with her, but Anderson able to just avoid it and get out of the way. So now a free kick coming for UMass Boston. It'll be just inside their own 18-yard box. About 34 minutes to play here in this game, and UMass Boston trailing 2-0. If you're just joining us, both goals for Southern Maine coming in the first half for the Huskies. As Jackie Turner plays it now. Trying to give it to Anderson. It was a bit too far. Her pass was cut off as well. Kenya Wade sticks a foot in on the tackle. Kaloma laid it off, but sent right back down the field by Turner. McGettrick chasing there. But Southern Maine clearing it away from danger. And now here's Oliver trying to get there for UMass Boston, but sent right back down the field by Southern Maine. Mary Jo Murphy, good move to keep the ball and keep possession. She feeds it over. It's Allie Crawford now. Crawford with a couple of white jerseys in front of her. Just feeds it along. This one sent into the far post, but a bit too far for everybody as it went well out of bounds. And a goal kick to come for Southern Maine. UMass Boston going to make a substitution here, as McGettrick is going to come out of this one. She comes out of this contest in favor of Cal Pitts. Goal kick here. Just flicked along. And again, Kenya Wade's been busy back there. Couple of speedy Huskies on the backside of that top part of the formation. Kaloma's had a good game as well. She's got a goal already. And she's chasing here again against Mary Jo Murphy. Murphy just having to body her off and give way to her goalkeeper, Smilios, who now rolls it out to Kenya Wade, and UMass Boston trying to sustain some pressure here and maybe sustain some possession. They haven't done that very often here in this second half, as Wade is taken down and a foul is called against Southern Maine. So a free kick coming here as Danny Anderson just goes short with it. And it's played right here to Andrade. Now towards that back line. Kelly fires it over, and it's a bit too far, as Wade has to go back on the clearance from Southern Maine. As Southern Maine had the opportunity to just kind of camp back there a little bit, but they've still applied some pressure in the offensive end, and now a couple of bodies go tumbling as Kenya Wade was tripped that time. She was tripped by the goal scorer of the first goal for Southern Maine and got everything started. It was Sierra Berthum who had the goal. And now Danny Anderson to send this one downfield. Headed away. Couple of bodies colliding there. And brought right back down. Again, UMass Boston seeking some history, trying to create a program record to extend their win streak to 10 straight games. Looking for the most consecutive wins. Program history, that one is out of bounds. A throw-in to come here for Southern Maine. But going to have to do it from behind, trailing 2-0 against Southern Maine. Throw-in to come here. Now this one's sent in on a high ball in towards the box. Couple of unmarked blue jerseys, but UMass Boston maybe dodging a bullet that time. So it just goes out of bounds harmlessly for a goal kick. It was Mazza that was there, trying to get her head on it, but just could not do so. Ball battled for sort of near midfield, and the Huskies coming away with it. This half has looked a lot different than what it did in the first half in regards to UMass Boston possession time. Throw in is headed away. Mazza now brings it down, but turned over. Pitts trying to play it forward for Andrade, but a bit too far, and now this one goes a bit too far for everybody. Going to be a goal kick for UMass Boston. Beacons send it quickly and short. Andrade plays it over to Anderson. And now Anderson has it at her foot. Right to the middle to Crawford. Pass a little bit too far for Palma. as Crawford will go over to get the throw in here. Pretty windy down there as well. As Crawford works towards the 18, sends that one low towards the middle, and it's just cleared away by the Huskies. Not really anyone on the receiving end of that cross in from Crawford. It was low and right towards the middle of the net. Smilios will play it, now pick it up and roll it out to Wade. Kenya Wade quickly working the other way. She gives it up to Palma. Palma, a couple of touches and tried to send it long and switch the field that time, but it didn't get there. Now taken away, Jackie Turner. Touch off to Anderson, who goes right back to Wade. That went a little bit too far out of the reach of Anderson, and Pitts trying to save it, save possession. Now UMass Boston will. So they're trying to go the other way, but out of bounds and a throw in to come, and now we'll have a substitute that'll run on here. So Mazza is going to come off. So Mazza out, and in comes Emma Dennison. She was one of the first subs off the bench in the first half for Southern Maine. And now here in the second half, much of the same for the Huskies, who right now lead it 2-0 for top of UMass Boston, but so far no scoring in the second half. So we have just about 27 minutes to play, and you start to sense that UMass Boston is going to need a couple of quick goals now here down the stretch, as this one goes out of bounds for a goal kick for the Beacons. Spilios takes it quickly and gets it to Kenya Wade as the pressure being applied here by the Huskies, and now it's turned over by UMass Boston. Porter trying to send it in with the left foot. Kalilwa is there. She battles for it. And now Danny Anderson will have it, trying to clear it, but Spilios will take it and pick it up. A couple of times she's just rolled it out to Kenya Wade. Will she send it downfield this time? And yes, she will. High up into the air. Andrade was there to try and battle for it. And now Kalilwa beats the back line here. She works in towards the 18, trying to get it towards the middle. And we'll get a corner kick that's upcoming here for Southern Maine. Well, Kalilwa has had a good game so far, already a goal, but has also created a couple of chances for the Huskies. Over on that far side of the field. And now a corner kick taken here by Sierra Berthum. As she sends this one in, this is low towards the near post and cleared out of play. She's trying to keep it in, but it'll be a goal kick for UMass Boston. So a goal kick upcoming for the Beacons. Again, early in this one was UMass Boston that had a lot of the possession time in the offensive end. And now here it's been a lot of Southern Maine applying that sort of pressure on the offensive side of things. So the throw in comes here for the Huskies. Drop down towards the middle. Shot with the left foot is blocked. And now Smiley's having to come out of the net. She makes the play and quickly rolls it out to Jackie Turner on the near side. Here comes Turner the other way as she looks for Palma. Tried to play that ball forward, and it's a bit too far here. But Turner able to cut it off and take it away. Turner tried to slice it across towards that far side and switch the field, but could not. And now the other way comes Southern Maine. For Southern Maine, they're content to play some possession here. Still trying to attack, though, and create some chances. It's headed away. But Porter takes it right back. Sent in towards the box, and Mary Jo Murphy heading it away. So UMass Boston just clears it out of bounds here. So the clock continues to tick for the Beacons. That one played towards the middle, flicked along with the header. This one's going to roll out of bounds, and this will be a goal kick. Spilios will take it. We'll see if she goes quickly and goes short to Kenya Wade, or if she'll send this one down the field. And instead she'll go short to the other side. Erin Kelly Plays it forward. And now quickly turned over. That's been something that Southern Maine has done in this game, is those short goal kicks. They have really pressured UMass Boston. Forced a couple of turnovers on this side of the field. Long ball forward, knocked down by Turner. And now Turner will have a throw in here. Anderson. Taken away here by Palma. She tried the through ball here. Coming out is Gorman. She gets there just ahead of a couple of Beacons charging towards that 18-yard box. And now Kalilwa, who's had a battle with Mary Jo Murphy all night, trying to get free again. And now it's Porter. Tried to play it through that time to Kalilwa, but instead taken away. And Cal Pitts passes a bit too far for everybody. Not sure who she was trying to go for there. Andrade was in the area. And there was another couple of players on the far side that time. Kaylee Haynes worked forward. UMass Boston coming quickly the other direction. Beacons looking to charge in, and now we'll get a corner kick here, but not before a couple of subs make their way in. So a substitute and a pair coming in for UMass Boston. So Grace McGettrick is in. Oliver is in. As Palma comes off. Corner kick comes in right towards the middle of the box, headed away by Southern Maine. Danny Anderson set to throw it in, and she does quickly. Anderson gives it off to Turner, sent in towards the box. Oliver is there. Oliver heads it. The shot is knocked away, and that one's cleared away by Southern Maine. Good opportunity, though, inside the box for UMass Boston, but they just cannot convert. Now quickly Mary Jo Murphy working up the field. It's turned over and taken back the other way by Southern Maine. A couple of battles brewing here. And now we've got a foul called against the Beacons. And Southern Maine getting the ball out of danger. And not only that, but now giving themselves a chance to kill some time with some breathing room. Cal Pitts was there, this time knocked away. Now a shot and a long one that goes high and wide. And a substitute coming back on for UMass Boston. Another sub set to come in for Southern Maine as well. It's Trisha Boyle that comes in for Southern Maine. So McGettrick will get it now. McGettrick working upfield. She works quickly in towards the box. McGettrick falls down and played back. Jean Albano, the freshman, seeing her first action here in this one on the back line for the Beacons. That's been a spot that had a couple of different players in tonight. Mary Jo Murphy now heads it away. Cal Pitts tried to turn with it. Got it to Allie Crawford. Was able to keep it in over by the Beacon bench. Crawford to McGettrick. Tried to play it for Anderson, and that time it was sent away by the Huskies. Maybe tried to force that one in there just a little bit as Wade gets it to Crawford, who knocks it down. And Crawford trying to turn and find McGettrick. This time she does, but it will roll right into the hands of Gorman, as McGettrick just could not get there in time. So Gorman sends this one right back down the field. Pitts headed it away. Anderson chasing. Southern Maine just trying to avoid UMass Boston getting some possession and some opportunities. You're late in this one. And now we'll have a substitute coming on here for Southern Maine. So the clock continues to move. Just about 18 minutes to go. It's Yaya Dunn, the freshman, making her first appearance of this one.
Checking in for Southern Maine, number 25, Yaya Dunn.
And a handball given to UMass Boston. It's Alex Allen got her hand on it. Danny Anderson now set to send this one down the field for the Beacons. Anderson sends this one short to Kenya Wade. So Wade trying to play it to Allie Crawford, but it was cut off there. Now the other way comes Southern Maine. Chasing and hustling to get there is Oliver. The Huskies just keeping it away from the Beacons. This one knocked out of bounds, and this is going to go off the foot of Southern Maine. So a throw in to come for UMass Boston. As a substitution comes in, Cal Pitts is going to come out. And now Biliak will come in for UMass Boston.
And for UMass Boston, number 8, Taylor Biliak.
Kalilwa will come out. So definitely going to try and go with a more defensive lineup is Southern Maine here. The clock continues to move, and for UMass Boston, maybe trying to apply some pressure towards that box as Mary Jo Murphy works her way in. Murphy with the left-footed shot, but Gorman able to just slide over and make the save. Murphy creating a chance up top now. We've seen her a lot on that back line for UMass Boston here tonight. But now trailing, wanting to create some pressure are the Beacons. McGettrick trying to chase it. Southern Maine clears it. And now they work quickly as Yaya Dunn takes it up the near side, but Biliak is right there and forced a throw in here for UMass Boston. Danny Anderson now. Anderson tried to play it forward, taken away. Andrade tried to bring it down, but to no avail. This one coming out is Smilios, makes a late decision, and now we'll clear this one down the field. Oliver trying to tap it back towards Crawford. And now this one sent right back up the field and out of play for it looks like it stayed in play just momentarily. Now it will be out of play, and a throw-in to come here for Southern Maine. So substitute comes on with about 15 minutes to go for the Huskies. So another sub in.
Checking on for Southern Maine, number 3.
As this one is sent forward and tapped along. Mary Jo Murphy right there to make the play, and that one is going to be a throw-in now for UMass Boston here. Mary Jo Murphy plays it over on the far side. UMass Boston trying to send bodies towards the box. Far post, and McGettrick couldn't get it. And now that one rolls out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in here for Southern Maine. So now a throw-in to come here. Kenya Wade. Played towards the middle here, Mary Jo Murphy. Murphy inside the box. Murphy takes a shot with the right foot, and it's in the back of the net. UMass Boston has cut the lead to 1. It's under 15 to go, but the Beacons are on the board. Mary Jo Murphy, who's been on the back line all night. They move her up to create an offensive opportunity, and what does she do? Put one in the back of the net. So the Beacons trying to climb their way back here in this one. And for Mary Jo Murphy, now on the season, for UMass Boston. That is goal number 1 of the year. Had 4 assists coming into this one and now has added a goal to her total.
Scored by number 13, Mary Jo Murphy. Assist to number 25, Allie Crawford.
Allie Crawford will be credited with the assist for the Beacons. So UMass Boston trying to show some life here late. Battle for the ball, and Andrade will win the foul. This one sent back up the field. Knocked down. Crawford plays it forward. Chasing there is Oliver. Oliver keeps it in. Oliver feeds to Murphy. Murphy has it. Now switches to the right foot. Takes a shot, and McGettrick is in front. Bodies fall to the turf, and it's cleared away. Danny Anderson now. Anderson trying to work it back towards the middle of the field, but taken away, and Southern Maine will clear out of danger. Again, back-to-back dangerous opportunities for UMass Boston here. And now the Beacons just trying to alertly get some momentum back here. Lots of possession has been controlled now lately for the Beacons as it's quickly worked upfield here. Ball sent towards the far side was knocked away. Southern Maine clears it away. Kenya Wade now. Wade plays it towards McGettrick. Now headed back by Wade. Allie Crawford there, and she is fouled. So Southern Maine now having a tough time as they try to just cling to this lead. It's a 2-1 contest. Played over to Biliak. Biliak works her way just outside the 18, sends it towards the far post. Couple of white jerseys there, but it's off the side of the net, and it'll be a goal kick here. That comes for Southern Maine. So Southern Maine will have a goal kick here. And this one's sent downfield now. Cal Pitts battling for it. This one sent upfield. Couple of bodies tangling there, and UMass Boston coming away with it. Played right to the middle. Danny Anderson now. So that one out of bounds, and now a throw-in to come here for Southern Maine.
Back into the game for Southern Maine, Adele Kaliwa and Sierra Berthune.
So Kaliwa back in.
Cal Pitts.
Once that last goal was scored by UMass Boston, Kaliwa was one of those players who just kind of opens up the field a little bit. Especially for a Southern Maine team, doesn't have a ton of offense. Kaliwa has been one that has really kind of opened it up as well. So Porter sends that one back in. Now a couple of bodies battling there as Biliak finally clears it. Sticking her foot in is Oliver. Allie Crawford now with it. Crawford turning. Crawford thought about going to the far side and continues to work upfield. Allie Crawford in towards the box. Crawford sends it low towards McGettrick, but it's cleared away. And now out of play, we'll have a throw in here for UMass Boston with about 10 to go. Trailing by just a goal. This one sent in towards the box from Crawford. Crawford able to stay on side. A good play on the throw in there. As McGettrick raced towards the goal, but Gorman got out just in front of that ball, getting to McGettrick. So now it's played toward UMass Boston, right up towards the middle. It's Danny Anderson there to pressure. Now Biliak is there as she sends that one back downfield. And a throw in to come for Southern Maine. Throw in here for the Huskies. This one cleared down the field. Kenya Wade now. Wade makes a move around one. Now tries to work quickly towards the 18-yard box. Plays it forward. Crawford was there, knocked down. headed forward, and now Gorman will just come out and corral it. The Beacons still applying some pressure. And again, much more lively here late in this second half. Biliak right there battling. The other way comes Southern Maine as it rolls out of bounds, and a throw-in to come here for the Huskies. And taking their time now with the clock continuing to dwindle. The throw-in comes here to the first goal scorer in this ballgame, Berthum. Both of these goals for Southern Maine came in the first half. Nothing has been scored since for Southern Maine, and very limited shots on target here in the second half. Kenya Wade battling there, and now she gets around the Husky that was contesting her that time, but the pass she was trying to feed through to McGettrick was knocked out of bounds. And now a substitute coming in as Cal Pitts comes off. As Mary Jo Murphy comes back on. So Murphy getting a blow here and then coming back for the Beacons. She has the lone goal for UMass Boston in this one. Rolls out of bounds. This will be a throw in here for Southern Maine. And that one goes out of bounds, and now a throw-in to come for UMass Boston as Biliak will take it. Biliak trying to get it to Andrade, who tried to flick it forward, but nothing doing. As Southern Maine will now take the throw-in, and we play the back-and-forth game here on this near side right now for the Huskies. With a substitute coming on, and now UMass Boston making a sub as Oliver comes out. So Oliver is out as Wade sends that one forward. Andrade, they're chasing it. Now Danny Anderson plays it and sends it over to the far side to Jackie Turner. Here comes Turner down the far sideline. Tried to play it forward, but too far for everybody. And now a goal kick to come for Southern Maine. Still a 2-1 deficit, no subs for either side at the moment. See if this is what they go with the rest of the way. Southern Maine has had to play a lot of this half on their end of the field. Not much on the offensive side for the Huskies. This one goes out of bounds. A throw-in to come for UMass Boston as Biliak will take it quickly. Biliak firing it in. Good pass by Palma there on the touch to Murphy, but it was taken away. Biliak got her foot in. Now Mary Jo Murphy with some space. Murphy feeds over to Palma. Palma spins, turns, and now sends it low towards the box, but it's cleared away. This one will go out of bounds and a throw-in to come for Biliak. Biliak takes it quickly as Mary Jo Murphy now chests it down. Murphy taps it back to Anderson. UMass Boston trying to create an opportunity, possibly put home a second goal in this one. Right now they trail it 2-1, have one goal here in this half. It came off the foot of number 13, Mary Jo Murphy. Allie Crawford quickly works it in, sends it low with the left foot. It's knocked down. Now a shot. Now Palma in front. Palma trying to head it forward. Lots of bodies there. Gorman is there, and she crawls on top of it. So Gorman just laying right on the ball there and making sure that Palma was unable to get to it after she originally got the touch on the head here of Morgan Palma. So Gorman now will give way, and a free kick, or rather a goal kick, set to come here. So this one is headed out, and we're quickly upfield. Danny Anderson now trying to get there to cut it off, and we have a foul that's going to go on Southern Maine. Anderson doing a good job getting in front there UMass Boston trying to take it quickly. The kick taken quickly. Played towards the middle here. Allie Crawford spins and sends it down the field. Couple of bodies colliding there. Ball towards the middle of the 18. Shot with the right foot. Knocked down. Now a shot off the crossbar. Headed back towards the net, and it's in the back of the net. UMass Boston has tied it up. Another goal for UMass Boston, and they have tied this game up at 2. The Beacons with 4:16 to go. It's a 2-2 contest. Mary Jo Murphy again. Murphy has stepped up big once again for the Beacons. Now played towards the middle. Does UMass Boston have a game winner in them? Allie Crawford plays it quickly forward. Here come the Beacons on the run. Tried to play it forward to Murphy, but that one just a bit too far. Mary Jo Murphy did not have a goal coming into tonight. She will now leave this game, for the moment, at least with 2. A foul is going to be called here on Danny Anderson. But UMass Boston has shown some fight here late in this one. And they have come all the way back to tie it. And with 4 minutes to go, it looked like Southern Maine trying to kill some clock and sneak out of here with a big win. But at the moment, it's all tied up. Sent back in towards the box. And you can just feel a shift in the momentum right now for UMass Boston. As Biliak will take this one away. Gives it back to Kenya Wade. In the second half, it's been a lot of blue jerseys chasing. So that one will roll out of bounds, and we'll get a throw in here to come for UMass Boston. And now a sub quickly coming on as McGettrick will come off. And a sub comes in as Kaylee Haynes will come in. And now that one played forward here. It's Crawford with it. Crawford trying to play it forward for Mary Jo Murphy, but a bit too far. For UMass Boston, they've only played one overtime game this year, and it was at UMass Dartmouth. It was a 1-0 win. This one is sent right back onto the near side here. Biliak right there battling with Bethune. As Crawford now trying to send it to Mary Jo Murphy. Putting her up front for UMass Boston has paid dividends. Under 2 minutes to go here in the second half. If nothing is resolved, we will go to extra time. Couple of bodies colliding and now some pushing and shoving for Andrade between her and the senior Emma Cost for Southern Maine. 1:35 to go now as the clock continues to tick. And now a turnover. Here the other way comes Southern Maine with an opportunity. Kenya Wade chasing it down, shot, and Spilios makes a diving stop. That could have been very dangerous for Southern Maine, but instead, it's the Beacons up to the test here. This one headed down. Andrade is there. Now she heads it forward. Mary Jo Murphy trying to flick it along for Palma. Palma's chasing. Palma gets there and cuts it off. Working in towards the 18, but that one is sent away. It will roll out of bounds and a throw in to come for UMass Boston. Trying to take it quickly with under a minute to go. Biliak going to throw it in. She finds Palma. Now near the touchline here. Palma trying to take it away. Doing anything she can, but there will be a foul called here on UMass Boston with 35 seconds to go. This one sent back downfield as Danny Anderson is going to get there. Anderson firing this one back down. Mary Jo Murphy there. Kenya Wade chests it down. 10 seconds to go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Played towards the middle of the field.
3.
And we are going to extra time. UMass Boston, with 2 goals in the second half, have tied it up here late. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have extra time here at James Cotter Field. You're watching the Beacons Broadcast Network right here from James Cotter Field. There has not been a home game yet this year for UMass Boston on the women's side of things with overtime, but we will change that tonight as UMass Boston gets set for 10 minutes of extra time in a 2-2 game here against Southern Maine. For UMass Boston, the last time that they were in overtime, it was a 1-0 win over top of UMass Dartmouth, and it came back on October 2nd. And on the flip side, for Southern Maine, the last time that they had went to extra time, it was 2 periods of overtime, and they came out with a tie against Bates. So both teams still looking to stay without a loss in overtime. For Southern Maine, they're looking for their first win in extra time, and for UMass Boston, they're going to make it a good, perfect 2-0 and trying to win their 10th consecutive game, trying to set a program record for consecutive wins. So they get set here, and we are just about set for action between Southern Maine and UMass Boston here in overtime. It's a 2-2 contest. 2 goals for either side. Both came in the same half. So this one is going to be a foul here against Southern Maine. But again, Southern Maine scored in the first half, 2 goals. UMass Boston, they scored 2 of their own in the second half. Southern Maine's came much earlier than UMass Boston's, as that one is chested down and out of play. And now a throw-in to come here for Southern Maine. So this one is sent forward, headed away by Danny Anderson. And now bringing this one down is Kenya Wade. Played right towards the middle. And now a ball towards the middle there. And a battle for it, and a foul is going to be called. So UMass Boston will get a free kick here. We saw Mary Jo Murphy move up front for UMass Boston. She's put home both goals for the Beacons. She'll stay up front for the Beacons. Now she's got the ball at her foot right now. Murphy trying to battle around a couple of defenders. Gets it back to Allie Crawford. Crawford playing this forward. McGettrick is chasing. Sent in towards the box, and now Gorman will take it away. The rain has started to come down just a little bit here in Boston tonight. It's expected to rain much harder as the night goes on. Cleared back down the field. Danny Anderson now back to get it. She sends that one high, and now a battle for it here. Morgan Palma over there trying to get there. Throw in to come here for UMass Boston. This one finds the foot here and out of play, though, off of Mary Jo Murphy. And now UMass Boston will get it right back, so back and forth we go. Allie Crawford now. Again, will UMass Boston be able to put up 3 straight goals and come away with the win? And for Southern Maine, do they salvage a game that looked like they were in full control heading to halftime? That one's out of play. Now a throw-in to come for UMass Boston, but the Beacons changed that oh so quickly in the second half. So that one goes out of play. It took a while, but for UMass Boston, it just felt like at some point the goals were going to come, and they finally did. One off the foot of Mary Jo Murphy and one off the head of Mary Jo Murphy. This one flicked on. Jackie Turner will get there and bring it towards the 18. She plays toward the middle here. Turning and spinning is Mary Jo Murphy. Feeds it across. Allie Crawford sends it back toward the box. Murphy with the header, and it goes high. Well designed that time. Mary Jo Murphy had it. An opportunity after Allie Crawford had sent that one in for Murphy. That was a ball that really Mary Jo Murphy was the only one that was going to have a chance at it. She got there, but just sent it high. Now it's Crawford again. This time Crawford tried to send it to Andrade, but now played back. And Danny Anderson will take it. She finds Andrade. Andrade leaves it off for McGettrick. McGettrick will spin, but that one goes out of bounds, and now a throw-in to come here. It's Cal Pitts trying to play that one forward. McGettrick, long ball in towards the box. Palma is there, but so is Gorman, and she'll snatch it out of the air. Palma had stayed on sides as well. Trying to go for that ball inside the box. As Cal Pitts now quickly works upfield. And And Pitts has that one go off of her and out of play. The throw-in to come here with about 5 minutes to go in the first overtime period. If there is no goal, we'll go to a second overtime period. That one will also be 10 minutes. It's Morgan Palma trying to chase this one down. It's cut off by Biliak on the far side. She gives off to Crawford. Crawford to the middle, Andrade. Andrade gives to McGettrick. McGettrick with space. McGettrick going to try it with the left foot and right into the hands of Gorman. So now Gorman will send this down the field here. Headed back forward by Pitts. As Allie Crawford, the back heel, but nobody was there to retrieve it. It goes out of bounds. This will be a throw in here to come for Southern Maine. The Huskies have not had a lot of possession here in this overtime frame. And now a foul going to be called, though, on UMass Boston. And a free kick to come here for the Huskies. Chested down by Biliak. Couple of shoves, but nothing called. And now UMass Boston trying to work it upfield. Played towards McGettrick, trying to slow it down with a header, but it flew right past her. Kalilwa was pressuring that time on Danny Anderson. It goes out of bounds and a throw-in to come for Southern Maine. It's Anderson now applying pressure of her own. Good ball towards the box, but there's Spilios, and now a shove right at the last moment. And another UMass Boston player goes down. That one is Biliak that time. So Southern Maine, you can tell, maybe just a touch bit of frustration after giving up those 2 goals late in the contest. So this one goes out of play. Now a throw-in to come here for UMass Boston. Substitution coming in as Grace Oliver checks in. As Morgan Palma will come out, so some fresh legs out on the flank for UMass Boston. Mary Jo Murphy trying to leave it off for McGettrick. She's got space. Finds Mary Jo Murphy. And now Allie Crawford going to get there. Crawford going to try it with the right foot and go right into the hands of Gorman. Maybe a little bit ambitious from distance for Allie Crawford, but now it's Southern Maine with it. Crawford knocks it down and sends it forward. Crawford to McGettrick. Now back to Crawford. Crawford sending a ball that is trying to be chased down here by Turner. Kalilwa trying to get there, and now it's going to be a throw-in here for Southern Maine. As Kalilwa chased it down. Porter gets there and sends that one down the field. And Kalilwa has been really all over the field for Southern Maine. She's been a key part. Saw her make a couple plays offensively, but that time Jackie Turner tried to make a run, and Kalilwa was right there on her hip trying to chase it down and made the play defensively. This long ball sent forward, but Anderson is there to take it away. Now it's headed forward. Kalilwa, she gets there first right before Kenya Wade. Long shot with the left foot. Spilios has no problem with it. She'll come out with it towards the top of the 18-yard box. Minute 24 to go in the first overtime. Oliver trying to get a foot on it, but could not. Now it's a turnover. Mary Jo Murphy tried a shot. Gorman with a save. It tried to be handed back on a little bit of a tap from Bragg that time, but maybe got a little bit too cautious with it. And that allowed Mary Jo Murphy to just sneak in. So now here's Oliver. Oliver trying to work upfield. That one's knocked out of play on a good play by Baker. UMass Boston trying to get a throw in quickly. This time they do. Mary Jo Murphy back to Turner. Turner gives it off Cal Pitts. Right into the middle. It's McGettrick. McGettrick feeds it through. Here's Crawford trying to play it through, and it is knocked out of bounds. A corner kick coming. 25 seconds to go in the first overtime. This one is dropped off. McGettrick back to Crawford. Crawford plays it in towards the middle. Headed away. Still at the top of the box for UMass Boston. Anderson now. She's going to send that one in from distance, and it goes just over the bar. A good opportunity for Danny Anderson right as the end of overtime comes, but we will play a second overtime frame. UMass Boston unable to get on the board despite continuous pressure on top of Southern Maine. It's 2-2. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the second overtime for you right here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. The second overtime upcoming here. UMass Boston tied up at 2. Now against Southern Maine. Southern Maine coming into this one with a couple of good opportunities. The second overtime, but again, it was UMass Boston with the majority of the chances, and, well, that's been the story from about 3 minutes to go in the second half until now. And does UMass Boston have a couple more chances left in them? Here through the rest of the second overtime as we get set and we are underway. Played back now to Biliak. UMass Boston doing what they've done really dominantly since that 3-minute mark in regulation, which has been control the possession. Mary Jo Murphy played it forward. And now this one goes back to Danny Anderson. Rain starting to fall. You can see it just a little bit. As a long shot comes to the right foot. Gorman just getting down in front of it. That was something that did not look very comfortable there for Kayla Gorman. But she's able to make the stop, and Southern Maine able to stay in this one. As Crawford drops it back. Wade now plays it forward. Headed by Murphy. Murphy now gets it at her foot. Looking to turn, and just turns and sends it over. Played towards the middle of the box. Here's McGettrick. McGettrick with a shot with the left foot. It's in the back of the net. UMass Boston wins it 3-2.
Boston goal scored by number 17.
Grace McGettrick all night has come so close and now has the game winner.
Final score of today's
A 3-2 win for UMass Boston, and it's Grace McGettrick with the game winner.
The Beacons will return to James
Southern Maine with 2 goals in the first half. UMass Boston, 3 unanswered to win it.
State College. Thanks so much for coming out to today's contest.
Kayla Gorman
Safely.
had a couple of big saves in this one, but not enough. Southern Maine came oh so close. UMass Boston used a late surge here in this one, and they now have 10 straight wins. They stay undefeated in conference play and keep that first place spot showdown looking like a good one against Western Connecticut State in a couple of weeks. But UMass Boston coming away with a big win as Grace McGettrick finds the back of the net for the Beacons to win it 3-2. It all started with a goal that came off the foot of Sierra Bethune. She picked up the first goal of this game. The next goal came off the foot of Kalilwa, and then that was followed directly after halftime in the second half by UMass Boston, and it was a goal that came right off the foot of Mary Jo Murphy that got it all started and made it 2-1. Then it was tied up at 2-2 after Mary Jo Murphy headed a ball into the net. It was a great play that came from Morgan Palma to just get it on target. And when she did hit off the crossbar, and just followed by that was, of course, the game winner that came from Grace McGettrick. So McGettrick with the game winner. UMass Boston making it 10 straight wins. They set the new program record as well with the win over top of Southern Maine. And for the Huskies, again, heartbreak as they move now to 1-5 in Little East Conference play. So UMass Boston, once again, victorious here by a score of 3-2. We take a look at your final stats here for UMass Boston. Again, dominant in the shots department, 27 shots to their credit here in this one. 9 saves had to be made by Gorman, but just not enough as UMass Boston able to come away with the big win here tonight. We take a look now at what is ahead for UMass Boston upcoming, and again, we mentioned it earlier, but UMass Boston will travel on the road and take on Rhode Island College before hitting the road and taking on Framingham State, followed by the matchup against Keene State, 6 o'clock start there, and then it's Bridgewater State. They will play at 7 o'clock on October 29th for UMass Boston as they take on those upcoming opponents here through the rest of the way. Well, now it's time that we sign off here from James Conner Field. An exciting one that went to 2 overtimes, and UMass Boston coming away victorious by a score of 3-2. For our entire broadcast crew, I'm Elijah Gonzalez saying so long. Have a great night, everybody.